Welcome to the Shadow Council. That's right, I'm back. And I only have a few scratches on me, but don't worry about those other guys. You won't be seeing them anytime soon.
Well, I'm glad you made it back safely, Mick. We certainly missed you. Now, we can talk about the results from the sealed week. First up, Z-Force Agents and Bow Nothing Bow Problems are both tied for first place with 17 points, followed behind with another tie, being the Dusk Runners and Hobo's Revenge for third place with 13 points. Both Z-Force Agents and Bow Nothing Bow Problems are on a win streak right now. Currently, they won week 1, week 2, and hoping to keep it alive going to week 3, but it's going to be extra difficult for the Z-Force Agents because they have to go up against the Hobo's Revenge in week 3, and it's going to be a tough one. In addition to that, we're super proud of Hobo's Revenge, Bow Nothing Bow Problems once again, and Flimp, there it is, all managing to jump 3 ranks from week 1 to week 2. So congrats on those big wins. Julie here has a very keen insight on who she picked, because you guys have 3 brand new players to the league, and that are all 2-0 so far. It really helped out this week, pulling you guys over across the line. How has your experience been with these players, K-Merch, Boulevard, Paper Fight, and Vance Maddox?
I mean, the community, I guess, the team as a whole has been pretty active. Pretty active in our Discord channel. Swapping decks, talking strategy. Especially sealed. Especially this week, we get a whole group of decks. As the format is, our team gets a group of decks, and then we pick and choose between them. So there was a lot of discussion going back and forth. I know Vance Maddox was definitely a very active player. I've seen his name jump in there quite a few times. Same thing with K March actually. I've seen his name coming in and out. He actually does a lot of practicing and stuff. So I know he always makes himself available to practice with teammates and whatnot. So yeah, we've got a pretty good. And then Julie herself, she's great as a team leader, as a team captain. Again, making herself available to practice. Asking if everybody wants to practice, trying to promote, discussion inside the group, inside the team, trying to make everybody feel like a team player, feel like the winners that they are.
How did you guys wind up distributing decks? Just like first come, first serve, or
Luckily, we had a few good guys, who are pretty good at deck analysis, I suppose, and really jumped in and kind of pulled out the top 10, top 15 or so decks, and they're like, all right, these are we think are the strongest decks, and here's kind of why. Um, yeah, and then it was kind of first come first serve from there. What was your strategy? How was your teammates uh, divvying up the decks and practicing this week?
hmm. I know. Thankfully, Dave and some others are a bit more spreadsheet wizardy than even I am, and they created like a ranked choice algorithm via spreadsheet to assign people's decks and minimize or maximize the ranking that you get for your deck. So everyone kind of put in like the top 5 decks and ranked them and into the sheet, and it spit out the optimized way for everyone to get the deck that they wanted.
Okay, very cool.
That was pretty cool on our team. Obviously, except the only big exception to that was our feature match player, Yo Yo Milk, who is our sealed expert, I guess. If you look at the spreadsheet, everyone was asked what your favorite format is, and he's our sealed expert for our team. He got to pick whatever deck they wanted, and then everyone else picked after that. It was really exciting this week. In general, just watching everything happen, we were one of the we were one of the few, not one of the few, one of the many teams that managed to convert from last week's loss to a win this week, along with Floop, with you guys. So I'm excited to see that going forward. It means that there's still hope.
Wow, way to just write us off in week one. The one bad game, you're done. Get out of here. You're not welcome here anymore. Yeah. Oh yeah, we still got a lot of fighting us. I'd say we've got a solid 5 more weeks of fighting us.
We have some excellent commentary of your game that brought you guys over the finish line. Is there any plays you'd like to highlight?
Just running past the finish line. Yes, I did it. I did it.
You're the hero of your team.
hero, the anchor, the hero. Yes, it's all me.
The
Yes,
king
clearly.
cat.
The king cat. No, but it was a good game. It was a very good game. I actually really liked my opponent's deck as well. I almost want to play it against it again, or even play with it. I think he had three hunting witches, a witch of the eye, dust pixie, some crazy ramp. He had a bunch of logos draw. Um, One of my favorite plays in that, which I'm curious to see what our viewers think. Comment down below. Um, the My opponent was playing a deck with reverse time, and he plays it. He plays it twice in the match, twice that I remember. Um, and in the middle, he plays it the second time in the middle of the match to basically flip over his discard pile. I think he has 19 cards in his discard pile and 12 cards or something in his draw pile. Flip flops them. Um, and given that switch, he doesn't realize that I'm sitting on two Infernuses in my hand at the time, and that reverse time, opens up his deck just wide open to my Infernuses. So I'm curious what other people think, because and to me that was a big game changing move.
Right. I might even say the finishing blow.
The finishing blow, indeed, indeed. So what's up next week?
Next week, Adaptive Week, my favorite format, and so we're definitely excited to get into that conversation. But first, I think we should all take a look watch this interview that we did with the team captain from the Quixelheads, Ryze, who's also his favorite format. So please enjoy that. Our next guest this evening is someone who you can count on to rise up to any occasion, a member of our host team and captain of last season's second place team, Ryze. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me on.
Great for you to be here. So I'm just gonna jump right into these questions. You're our first native ABR guest, and I was wondering if you could tell us how you got started with Keyforge and how you eventually found yourself on the Ancient Bear Republic team.
Oh man, so I got started on Keyforge because I was pretty disillusioned with a lot of stuff that was going on in Magic, actually, and I was looking for alternative card games, and I heard that Coda was really hard to get a hold of, so I was like, oh man, like this game must be so cool. They're like selling out, man. It's like, I heard they're selling decks for like $1,000. So I went and got a few Coda decks, and a few Coda decks turned into a few Coda boxes, and you know how it goes. And I
Yeah.
started buying a bunch of AOA, and then I cried. And yeah, now I'm here playing online ABR. ABR started in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the nexus is at Victory Point in Berkeley. A few of us played there just for like weekly chainbounds and stuff, and we had a graphic designer, started printing some stickers and some play mats and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, we got people coming to us. So yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Cool. So you've kind of been one of the original members. Do you guys add people?
Yeah. We have a secret channel in Discord called Potential Cubs, where we talk about people who are like active and want to play mostly online now, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we had people.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. If you're interested, let us know, man.
I'm a little stuck right now, but
Understandable.
in week one, you attributed a lot of your success of your players to their familiarity with their decks. Now the format's sealed, what have you been doing as a captain to replicate last week's success?
Well, first of all, I don't think that we're having as much success this week, unfortunately. But we did try something pretty novel. We actually put a weaker deck in the premier spot to hopefully gain an advantage in the rest of the matchups. And we lost that spot, and I think the matchup's tied right now. I think we're playing against each other, Andrew. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, we're down the premier match, and there's only a few more to go, so it's down to the wire. But as far as picking decks goes, I just created a deck tag list on DOK, and just shared it with the team, and just basically said, hey, pick decks you like. If not, we're gonna try to stack the 0-1s with better decks, and yeah, and everyone else who's 1-0 can kind of pick from the rest of them. And yeah, that was our strategy, trying to keep everyone afloat. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, do you know pretty much almost all the members on your team, or have you played with them before, or did you pick a lot of new guys?
So I chose a couple of ABR dudes, just so I could honestly have help, like managing the team. Like I think it's kind of nice to have a couple of people that you're pretty close with, and they can step in and fill in for you if you're working or whatever. That's Ned, Mike, this, and Brobnar89
Mhm.
are kind of ABR core guys. Um, we got this other guy, Arkellis, is from Fresno. We played a prime together, so I knew him. But the rest of the guys, I don't think I've met in person, but I've seen him online. I played against AK Anderson in Shadow World, so it's just kind of went with like name recognition, and yeah, that's about the only quotient I had for drafting.
Well,
Oh, it seemed to work out so far.
Yeah, the
yeah.
season is young, but we're off to a good start.
Looking forward to next week, Adaptive Week. You've said it's one of your favorite formats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I love adaptive.
awesome. Do you think there's any decks that are better suited for adaptive than other decks?
So I've got kind of an interesting thought about adaptive.
Mhm.
I approach it as kind of a more, even though I really enjoy playing it, and I think I'm okay at it. I really enjoy bringing decks that have just cards you don't really see too often. Hold the line and kind of these weird rares and stuff like that that people might not know how to play into if they're just picking a deck up for the first time. And I don't know, man. Like cards like Turnkey and like Keyhammer and stuff like that, I think
Mm,
are really fun and adaptive too. I don't
yeah,
know why, but just like I really like decks that where the battle line position matters, and if you know that that matters in your deck, you can really make sure that you set it up. And I think
oh
that's
yeah,
a huge advantage if you know your deck. And say you are looking towards like a turnkey uh play, you can
Mhm.
set that Cinder up on the side and
Gotcha.
protect it easily and stuff like that.
So why is adaptive your favorite format?
I love Bidden Chains, man. I like the bluff. I like the mind games that you can do with that. You can even concede early in the first game and
Mm,
like not show them your deck. I just think there's a lot of room for for counterplay and like games within games. You can get real meta
gotcha.
with adaptive.
So when you're in an adaptive match, when do you start thinking about how many chains to bid?
Well, first it starts the moment you start looking at their deck list, right? If they have logos and a lot of ways to get through their deck quickly,
Mhm.
it could probably maintain more chains. I think most players, not all players, most players probably know that now.
Right.
Um, and you need to see like what's this deck's game plan? Like, does this deck need to get a combo card to
Mm,
win? And it doesn't need to dig for proclamation. Does it need to dig for a team TP? And like, yeah, it's great if you have it in your opening hand, but if you're not getting that card and that deck needs that card to win, then you can't really afford to bid too many chains on it. So that's just an example of kind of like the way my mind works as far as analysis goes with
mm.
adaptive.
Sweet. Yeah. Is there any? Uh, are there any players on your team that we should be paying attention to in adaptive week that you think like will have a good game or do really well?
Yeah, you got to watch out for Brobnar89, man.
Yeah.
That guy is yeah, he's an adaptive shark. He did pretty well in KFPL. I think he got top 8, and
Or
he really knows his deck.
I guess that makes me think that he's going to be the feature match player, but um, let's
He
pick a
may be.
let's pick a
He may
second
be.
person just in case because we already know we should watch the feature matches.
Oh yeah. So second person, I think you got to keep your eye out for AK Anderson.
Mhm.
He's in the dentist chair right now, as we speak, but he seems to be pretty excited about adaptive. So I
Sweet.
would yeah, I'd spectate that match if you can.
So we asked you to bring an adaptive deck to the to this interview.
Sure.
Can you talk us through it, or what deck did you bring?
Mellow of Spellstar Castle Retreat.
That's it. So this was my adaptive deck for the short adaptive tournament for the KFPL.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super fast. Like if you look at it, it doesn't look like much, right? It's kind of like, well, where's the amber control? Like, does it really have any tricks or anything? But the creature control is really good. It's got a pain mail, Lost in the Woods and Dis, which is pretty cool. Double infomorph, and yeah, just some really interesting stuff. But the cool part about it for adaptive is that it really relies on when you play your universal key lock turnkey combo. So that's kind of a combo that you don't really see too often because it's too rares. But it's super fun to do. And also, Imperial Road is like actually an all-star for like the first time ever. Like that card is legit because you just want to get through as fast as possible and get through your Saurian stuff that have play effects. And I think Imperial Road, it enters, you play it, so you get the play effects for stuff like Citizen Tricks. So you don't really care if it's stunned.
Right.
So yeah, this deck is it's pretty good, pretty interesting. Corey fan actually took it in the top 16 and beat me with it. I took his 87 SAS monster deck that I shouldn't have taken for like 8 or 7 chains or something, and I told myself before the tournament that like I should take my deck no matter. I should try to take my deck and bid their decks up to like 6 or 7 chains, but I ended up getting stuck with his, and of course lost. So I was pretty disappointed in that, but that's a chain bidding error, and I'm learning from it. So yeah, this is my deck. It's got a lot of sneaky amber control with like Pandemoniums and Spoils of Battle. And like Sagittarius Gaze, along with the Strixes, like kind of stuff that's not really reflected in SAS. So if you're one of those cheaters that brings up SAS and just looks at the numbers and stuff like that, like you're gonna miss a lot of this deck.
How do you enjoy being a captain? What's your favorite part of being a captain?
Oh man, my favorite part about being a captain is making everyone post their games into the Discord chat and then spectating and totally judging all of their misplays. No, I'm just kidding. But I do like having like a team camaraderie in spectating games. I think that's kind of helpful and cool. And I like being able to practice with teammates throughout the week and just kind of shoot the ish about I don't know. I think I'm pretty democratic as far as how I like to run my team. Pretty casual. I just, I like to have everybody just do their best and bring the decks you want to play and have fun playing. And like, not really hyper competitive, but I will say the Key Frogs season 2 did come in second place. So, you don't have to be hyper competitive to win.
Right.
If you're having fun. So
just have to be good.
So looking forward to week 4. The format's Jank, and it's also apparently one of your favorite formats. How did you come to appreciate the Jank format, and what is a Jank format to you?
Oh man, Jank is Keyforge, dude. Jank. That's you open up a random Keyforge deck, chances are it's going to be Jank. And picking up that deck and figuring out how it works is the beauty of the game to me. So Is
there anything else you would like to say? Like, got any plugs you need to plug, or people you want to shout out, anything like that?
So I just like to thank everybody that signed up for the ABR League season 4. It's going to be a good season. Let's keep it drama free, and let's just play some Keyforge, man.
Well said.
Right on.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here today. Oh, it was your great guest. I hope we can have you back.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me.
So that pretty much wraps up our coverage of the ABR this week. But there's a few other big tournaments coming out that you should check out.
Archon's Corner finished its first week of its survival tournament, the Gauntlet. This is a 4-deck survival tournament where each deck must be from a different set. 22 players entered this tournament, and 11 players are still standing with 18 decks between them. There's a couple big players from the ABR League that we should mention. There's team captains Z and Dave Cordero. Z, along with the ABR player X-Ray Creator, are the only 2 people left with 3 or more decks. In addition to that, we have 2 new members to the ABR League still in it, and that is Ugluck and Joker. So good luck to all of you. We're definitely rooting for you from here at the Shadow Council. In Keyforge Premier League news, week 1 has finally ended, and it was an exciting week. We had a feature match between team captains Saka and Flaming Hobo. If you want to see my commentary on that, I got to join Jupiter and Z. That was a lot of fun. Be sure to go check out the Keyforge Premier League YouTube channel where they have recorded games for all of Week 1 there. Not every single recorded game, but a good number of them. But the big winner for Week 1 was Team Knowledge is Power, where their entire team swept all their matches, so they went 3-0. Congratulations to them. Now looking forward into Week 2, I think there's a couple matches you should keep your eye on. We have Aviator versus Corey Than, and then Jay Philippeg versus Zarmus, and finally we have Pyrisa versus Anxious Pirate. Be sure to check those matches out. I think 1 or 2 of those are going to be future matches, so be sure to follow Keyforge Premier League Twitter and stuff like that. Go to their Discord and just keep your eye open for those matches. Finally, we have an update on the Super Tournament hosted by the Crucible Tracker / Knowledge is Power. The finals have concluded, so be sure to go check out Justice Planet's channel to find out who the winner was of that $75. And obviously the winner of the Super Tournament. So congratulations to them. And that about wraps us up on other competitive Keyforge news. Please stick around to figure out what tournaments you could enter this week. Yeah, the first one that you can join is the big one. That is going to be a charity tournament hosted by the Final Swindle. We mentioned last week, survival tournament. Half of all of the entry fees go to Doctors Without Borders. And the top 2 players are going to take home 30 or 20% of the remaining prize pool that didn't get donated. Also, the event is going to be streamed by Mordivas, so be sure to go watch over there. Also, any donations made to Mordivas during the event will also go straight to Doctors Without Borders. Please go watch them. It's going to be a good time. Also, on top of that, Mordivas is being very generous and donating the $10 entry fee to a couple of people. So if you want to play, but you just don't have the funds, reach out to him. He's doing whatever he can to help people play Keyforge. And if you enjoy Mordivas, he hosts weekly tournaments in a format called Tesla. The way Tesla works is you bring one deck, and then round 1 you basically play Archon, and then round 2 you play Reversal with that deck. And so you definitely want to bring basically a good adaptive deck, a deck that you can win with regularly, and a deck that you can also beat regularly. And that is about all the tournaments happening this week.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. I'm actually contemplating joining the big one as well. I kind of want to jump in on that. It sounds, 1, charity, good cause, and 2, it actually sounds just like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that about does it for here at the Shadow Council. I'm Andrew, or One Star Peeps. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
I'm Mick. Make sure to hit his like and subscribe buttons.
Go follow him on Twitter. Nag him until he makes a Twitter, and then go follow him on Twitter.
That's good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
He's Shoepuff on basically every Keyforge Discord if he's there. That's how you can go nag him.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, but so thank you all so much for watching, and remember, the council is watching.
Oh man, Jank is Keyforge, dude.